Gents, have you ever wondered why Sigma males often seem to walk through life alone like lone wolves? You see them, strong, confident, marching to the beat of their own drum, but with no one beside them. What's up with that? Is it by choice, or is it just the hand they're dealt? Well, today we're going to break it down. I'm about to share 10 reasons why Sigma males have nobody in their lives. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for all 10. Because here's the kicker. These traits are what make Sigma males rare, powerful, and yes, sometimes alone. But the kind of alone that's empowering. So let's dive in. Number 1. They thrive on solitude. Alright, gents, let's start with this. Sigma males love being alone. No, I'm not talking about being lonely because that's different. I'm talking about solitude. Sigma males don't need a crowd to feel validated. They recharge in their own space, and they value independence over companionship. The world constantly tells us that being alone is something to avoid. Go out, socialize, meet people, they say. But for a Sigma, solitude is their sweet spot. It's where they get their best ideas, make their best plans, and reflect on life. While most people crave social interaction, Sigmas embrace the quiet because it sharpens their focus and strengthens their resolve. It's like they're having an internal conversation with their own awesomeness. Hey man, I got this. Number 2. They don't follow social norms. Now this one's a biggie. Sigma males don't play by society's rules. They're the rebels of the social hierarchy. The outliers who refuse to be pigeonholed into categories like alpha or beta. And because of that, they don't follow the normal life trajectory of constantly seeking companionship or relationships. Society says you should always be surrounded by people. But a Sigma says, nah, I'm good. This defiance of social norms can make them intimidating or misunderstood. Others might think, what's wrong with this guy? Why doesn't he fit in? But here's the deal. Sigma males don't care to fit in. They value authenticity over popularity. So, when people see them marching solo, they might assume the Sigma is isolated or lonely, when in fact, they're thriving on their own terms. And if you're thinking, man, that takes guts, you're absolutely right. It takes a lot of courage to live life unapologetically, like a true Sigma. Number 3. They cut out toxic people. Let's face it, gents, life's too short for drama and toxicity. One thing Sigma males absolutely won't tolerate is negativity. If someone brings bad energy into their lives, they're not going to waste time trying to fix or mend it. They'll cut that person off without looking back. Most people feel the need to hold onto relationships, even the unhealthy ones, for the sake of avoiding loneliness. But Sigmas? They've mastered the art of letting go. It's not because they don't care, it's because they value peace of mind more than toxic attachments. They'd rather walk alone than be surrounded by negativity. And trust me, this is why they often end up with fewer people around. But those who do remain are the ones who truly matter. Sigmas be like, bad vibes? Sorry, not in my energy budget. Number 4. They demand high standards. Sigma males are not here to settle in anything. Relationships, friendships, work, you name it. They demand the best, and they're willing to wait for it. Whether it's a romantic partner or a friend, Sigma males hold out for quality over quantity. They're not about to compromise just to fill the space in their lives with someone who doesn't align with their values. This means they don't have time for flaky people, superficial connections, or shallow interactions. They're searching for depth, loyalty, and authenticity in their relationships. And they're not going to lower their standards just to avoid being alone. Take this as a lesson, gents. Don't lower your standards just because you're lonely. Like a Sigma, wait for the ones who match your vibe. Number 5. They're often misunderstood. Here's where things get interesting. Sigma males are wired differently. And because of that, they're often misunderstood. Their quiet confidence can be mistaken for arrogance, their independence for detachment. People don't always understand their need for space, which can create distance in relationships. But the truth is, Sigma males aren't being cold or aloof. They just operate on a different frequency. They see the world in their own unique way, and they don't feel the need to explain themselves. This often leaves them with fewer people who truly get them. However, being misunderstood isn't a weakness. It's a sign that a Sigma isn't conforming to society's expectations. And while that may leave them with fewer people in their lives, those who do understand them, they're in for a lifelong connection. Number 6. They prioritize self-growth. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Sigma males are deeply committed to self-improvement. While others are out socializing and making small talk, Sigmas are often at home, reading books, learning new skills, working out, or pursuing personal goals. Self-growth is at the core of who they are, and because they're constantly evolving, it's hard for them to maintain relationships with people who aren't on the same journey. They outgrow friendships, relationships, and social circles that no longer match their level of ambition. If there's one Sigma trait to adopt, gents, it's this: never stop growing. Prioritize your own development, even if it means walking alone for a while. Number 7. They value quality time over quantity. Sigma males don't do casual hangouts or meaningless chatter. When they spend time with someone, it's intentional and it's meaningful. They're not the type to fill their calendars with random social events just for the sake of being busy. For them, quality always trumps quantity. This often means they have fewer people in their lives because they're very selective about how they invest their time. They don't waste energy on small talk or shallow connections. When a Sigma chooses to be around someone, it's because that person truly adds value to their life. Sigmas don't do Netflix and chill, more like purpose and build. Number 8. They don't chase validation. Here's a hard truth. A lot of people surround themselves with others because they're seeking validation, but not Sigma males. They don't need anyone to tell them they're doing great, looking sharp, or making the right moves. They're internally validated, which means they're not dependent on others for approval or reassurance. And because they don't need this external validation, they're perfectly content with fewer people in their lives. They don't crave constant attention or affirmation. Instead, they focus on staying true to themselves and their path. Gents, this is one Sigma quality you'll want to master. Stop chasing validation from others. Learn to validate yourself, and watch how much more empowered you feel. Number 9. They focus on their purpose. This one's huge. Sigma males are driven by purpose, and they don't let anything or anyone get in the way of it. Their goals come first, and they're laser-focused on achieving them. This kind of dedication often means that their social life takes a backseat. It's not that they don't value relationships, but they understand that in order to achieve greatness, sacrifices must be made. And sometimes that sacrifice is having fewer people around. But the reward? A life lived with meaning and intention. Sigmas are like, sorry, can't hang out. I'm too busy building my empire. Number 10. They're selective about trust. Last but definitely not least, Sigma males don't trust easily. They've probably been burned a few times, and now they're cautious about who they let into their inner circle. Trust is something that's earned, not freely given. And because of this, they're often seen as distant or guarded. But here's the thing. Sigma males know that not everyone deserves access to their lives. They'd rather have one or two solid, trustworthy people than a whole crowd of unreliable ones. This naturally leads them to have fewer connections. But the ones they do have, they're rock solid. Gents, now you see why Sigma males often have nobody in their lives. It's not a sign of weakness or loneliness. It's a testament to their strength, independence, and selective nature. If you resonate with any of these points, it might be time to reflect on how you can apply some of these Sigma qualities to your own life. And remember, it's better to stand alone with purpose than to be surrounded by people who drain your energy. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and join our community of Sigmas in the making. Having said this, let me know what you think.